live here on Facebook and YouTube for our Dynasty Predictions. I'm Mongo.
I'm Emily.
And
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Rachel.
we have
And
another special guest,
Gary the Snail. No,
Gary the Snail. Meow.
too early.
No, it's good. So we also have Gary Joe, original founder of HT on Elite, now founder, of Follow the Revolution. We'll link in the comments below. Please go give him a follow. Another creator in the space of AEW, because we're all here because we love AEW. We can't wait for this pay-per-view. Jeff and Rachel are going to it, so we're super jealous that we get to talk about it. But tides have turned because they came on and helped us do the Revolution predictions when we were going. So now let's do the predictions. Well, they get to go to St. Louis and have some fun and watch some AEW.
Yeah. Excited. Ready to go.
Feels like a lot of our following is actually going to this event because I do this show for the, especially exclusively for the women that I gave a show to a while back. Oh, let me just, there we go.
Gary's getting some calls here.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was actually Vicky that just tried video calling me. But no, so with this woman roundtable that they do every single month, for the women to actually get an echo that they deserve, Rhonda Phillips and her husband Henry is going to go to that as well. So it's really, really cool to know that.
Nice.
Awesome.
And that's why I love about AEW too, is it's just, we became friends with Jeff and Rachel because of the cruise in AEW. I became friends with Gary because of AEW. We just watch it to enjoy wrestling. There's not the whole hatred or weird online discourse that people just, I've never seen people in my life just crap on something so much that they supposedly love. It's like, what is this, Star Wars? Like, I don't understand right now. But first, we'll say hello to Steven from Yellowknife. That's pretty cool, way up there in Canada, up in the territories.
Yeah,
Matt Harding up there, also
Hey.
Vancouver.
What up?
With the best profile picture. What the hell?
I
I'm
know, I
so
see that.
envious.
That's Matt. The tribalism, yes, it is ridiculous. I know Gary and I have talked, and Jeff and I have talked, and Rachel and Emily, we all talked. It's hilarious. Like, we all watch wrestling. We all watch a sport where people have no pants fighting for a belt, but we're going to complain about how they fight for that belt. Like, what?
The thing that made me laugh the most, dude, is seriously like yesterday when the thing that came out where, WWE, cool, they're number 2 for the, with 6.8 billion, and then there is AEW right below that. And then instead of wrestling fans, strictly WWE fans being victorious because they're worth more, they want to counter being like, oh, this is bullshit with AEW. I'm like, why are you making AEW the target? Should we be very happy regardless? It is mind-blowing to me, man.
Oh, that's a classic LG quote right there. No, it is, and that's what I'm excited to talk about tonight, because we have 12 matches, and when we were doing the rundown and the predictions, when I was making the thing, I was looking like, I don't see a match on this card besides maybe one that I'm like, this is a pretty stacked card. I don't know which match Jeff and Rachel will probably be more excited about, but I'm curious to hear their thoughts. I know there's one that I'm like over the moon for, but every single one has the potential to steal the show. Every single one has the potential to be the best match of the night.
You're telling me you're really excited for Trent versus Matt Sydal?
Yeah, because Matt Sydal is awesome. Yes. So isn't Trent. So I'd be excited for that too. So
and Seidel's a hometown boy, so he's going to get a pop no matter what.
And a whooping.
But that's how good the match card is this time around. That's literally that's the bottom match, but that's not a bottom match at all.
No.
I guess we'll start with the first one that was just announced recently. The Acclaim versus the Bullet Club Gold. Finally, winner takes all. The trio titles are going to be merged. Thank God, because I love the Acclaim, but they haven't done jack all with the titles since All In. And again, I get it, but it's like, we don't need 6 belts for 2 different factions. I think one set of trios titles, even if it goes cross brands, makes the most sense. I think it'll be a fun match. You know, their rivalry's been going on since at least post Revolution, so it'll definitely be a good payoff. And everyone complained about Jay White being on the pre-show. They know he's talented and he can help sell the pay-per-view. I think people have that pre-show stigma, like when WB had the pre-shows, when it was Michael Cole and other people talking for like 20 minutes and you maybe got a 5-second women's match, but no one complained at WrestleMania when Dean Ambrose defended the Intercontinental title on the pre-show. It was still a good match.
Yeah.
So, Jeff and Rachel. So, Rachel, as always, ladies first on that side. Do you think the Acclaimed is going to have 6 belts, or do you think Bang Bang Boys and the Bullet Club Gold are going to be guns up with their belts?
I think that it's time somebody else takes the belt. So I think the Bullet Club Gold is going to win. I think it's their time. I think the Acclaim has ran their time twice now, so I think it's time for the Bullet Club Gold. That's who I have.
Okay, well, we're starting off the show in a different manner this time. Guns up, baby. I'm going Bang Bang Gang.
Did Jeff
The
and Rachel
same
just
thing.
agree on the
know.
very
I know.
first prediction?
I know, and you know, I'm sure it'll change. But no, I'm in the same boat with her, though. I just kind of want the change of pace. You know, same thing. I like the Acclaimed and all of that, but I think it's time as well to combine the titles. The ROH 6-man just don't seem to be as prominent. It kind of, to me, gets lost in the shuffle. You know, so I feel like this isn't a bad move to, you know, condense these, add a little bit more prestige to it so it can be on TV every week and, you know, be something that's sought after a little bit more again. So I'm going guns up.
I like it. I like it. All right. Em, what do you think? Do you think guns up or scissor me?
Oh, you can't see that hand. Guns up!
Oh.
I think that the Bullet Club Gold takes this one. Obviously, in our house, we have a little biasm, but
Bias.
it's okay. I think that it's time for Ring of Honor to keep those trios titles a little closer to home. So I can picture that, you know, being more of a Ring of Honor staple than being in, you know, AEW as often. You know, people want to see them separated. So I feel like you can run them across both brands, but have it mainly be on Ring of Honor television, pay-per-views. Also, the Acclaimed are way better as, like, faces chasing that title than, like, actually having them. I like them with
you can
them.
say it. Their tag team title runs. After the tag team title run, they kind of lost a lot of steam.
But they're great.
Walter has a good point. You know, the Acclaim had so much steam, but we haven't. And I think that's what it is I don't think they really knew what to do with the Acclaim when they got the trios titles. Then when they had the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, it was fun, but it was short-lived. I think this is a good way to keep Bullet Club Gold heels, especially with Juice Robinson coming back.
I'm ready for Rock Hard to come back.
So I think he's missing. I think that Juice is just not. That element's not there, so it kind of takes a little bit of a charm from the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, from the Bullet Club, and I'm looking forward to seeing Guns Up, that they're going to be essentially the new undisputed champions, I guess, if that's what we're calling it. And I really hope that it's a fun match. I like Jay White a lot, and I really hope he gets a showcase. And also, shout out to my brother from another, John, watching from PA. So now, Gary, it's on you. Is it Scissor Me or is it Guns Up?
Well, to make it short and sweet, I don't want to go to Staples, so the scissors are really not going to be in my hands, but a gun will. So, yeah, you know, I keep saying back and forth with some of my followers that has been commenting on that when the match was announced, and I totally agree with everybody that nothing against the Acclaimed. I love Caster, I love Bowens, but obviously we all agree here since they won the trios title to All In, they haven't done anything. I don't know the reason behind it. Caster and Owens is completely healthy. It's just, I feel like the reason why they put the titles on them at that time is because Billy Gunn can get one more moment before he retires in front of a monstrous crowd. But yeah, Jay White, for all the critics on him right now, I think Tony's going to execute that into something great. So yeah, obviously the Bang Bang Gang for me. I could see potentially Juice Robinson come back at this pay-per-view as well. So I don't know. I'm just going what the Young Bucks are teasing about with all these surprises. So maybe that could be a start. And one thing that I will point out, what you said, Josh, that I absolutely loved is one thing that I can never stress out enough with AEW. I love it when they just go to the action. And again, that's what makes AEW so different, more than the critics say. Saying, oh, they're really bad. They're just not my cup of tea. They're not this. They're not that. Whatever. Well, they just go straight to the wrestling, and I just, that's what a pre-show should be. Not talking for like a half an hour and be like, okay, can we move on?
No, I agree, and I also agree with Matt here. The trio title seems like a placeholder for guys they want on TV but don't have a storyline for. They definitely seemed like that, and I think when they came out with the scissor belts, I thought, okay, they're gonna have a good run with these belts, and they're selling them for what was it, like $800 a belt. Like they were,
It was rough.
it was pretty pricey to get them, and they were cool
Yeah.
belts. And then you saw them in backstage segments. I'm like, it is what it is, I guess. But I agree, it's to get a moment. But you said something, Gary, about Billy Gunn, and I don't know. I think something might be tinfoiling here. Hold on one second. The wrong one. But that's
Well.
okay. We don't have the intro, so we're gonna put on the old tinfoil hat here.
There it is.
He has a master's degree.
I got a master's degree from Tinfoil U, and so can't you if you listen to this. But here's my first tinfoil hat of the night. I don't know why the video did not play the one I picked, but what if Billy Gunn finally costs his sons? I mean, not costs sons, costs the Acclaimed to let his sons get the gold. What if Billy Gunn turns on the Acclaimed this Sunday?
I wouldn't hate it.
No, I would
Always
not.
go for one last title run. I mean, look at what we did for Sting in this company. I think that we could definitely see him taking a TBS title run, or even the world. He has it in him.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Still in great shape for his age. Still works pretty decent. I mean,
He's now the oldest one on the roster, and damn, does he still look good. Like, I hope I look good when I'm
Agreed.
older.
I know.
I
But
know
he works hard for it. I
He
mean,
does.
he works
Someone put a
out like
picture-
what, 5 days a week, something like that.
well,
So-
or whatever.
Yeah, someone put up a picture. It was like Road Dogg, X-Pac. It was all the members of DX, and it was like, who would have thought all these years later Billy Gunn would be the one still active wrestling and fighting for titles? I'm like, damn, that one kind of cuts deep, but it's kind of true at the same time. Especially as someone who's asthmatic, like it's definitely inspiring because one of the big shortfalls of his career, the reason why he didn't get a lot of singles success is because he is asthmatic. He has a hard time conditioning for singles matches. That's why he was always in a tag team or he was always in trios, because it helped him not get so blown up in the ring and not, fight for air.
Pace himself better. Yeah.
And I agree with Matt. He is a freak of nature.
Agreed.
The next match was just announced. We talked a little bit earlier. So it's Trent, instead of question mark, Trent exclamation point now because I'm mad at him, versus Matt Sydal out of St. Louis. As Jeff pointed out, the hometown boy versus the guy who beat down his homie. So who do we think's going to win here, Rachel? Do we think Trent exclamation point because we're mad at him, or do we think Matt Sydal gets a stolen victory?
I have Seidel because it is his hometown. Like, I mean, he's going to get a lot of love. So, and I think that it'd be a good win for him, especially in his hometown. So I'm hoping that's what happens. So that's who I have.
Opposite. Give me an exclamation point like we talked about earlier. Matt Sydal is going to get his good hometown pop, of course. I've seen him a few times already in different promotions. He gets a good pop every time. He'll get a few moves in and do his thing, but he's getting his ass kicked. I'm just going to throw it out there. I mean, Trent needs this to assert himself because now he's in this heel role. This will be, I think, one of his stepping stones to getting to that heel character and role and, kind of assimilating himself and also probably figuring out what they want to do with him in this role. But, yeah, Seidel's going to get a couple of his stable moves in, but yes, like Jamal, yes, he's going to beat Matt's ass. So.
So, all right, I think I know where you're going with this, but what do you think is going to happen? Do you think Trent reigns supreme, or do you think the artist formerly known as Evan Bourne sneaks one out?
Oh, that sounds dirty. I think that I always end up agreeing with Jeff. Literally the exact same thing written down before like we even got started. I wrote down Trent heel moves, Seidel showcase. Exact same thing as you. I think that we're gonna see Trent's full heel turn introduction, new gear. I think we're gonna see everything tonight. Especially where it is the pre-show, they'll be able to show a lot more of that to the fans, which is even better because the fans need to see what exactly is going on with this heel turn.
And here's what I love about the subtle storytelling, and sorry that it's not
Storytelling?
I know, sorry, it's such a taboo word that apparently doesn't exist, but here's the subtlety I love about it. From the all-in photo that we posted where he's looking angry at Orange, to him peeling an orange in a backstage promo a few weeks later, to then him saying, I'm wearing you on my knee pad because I want you with me. We're going to win these titles. To then him hitting him with that same knee pad with his face on it. And then him telling Chris Statlander at the very, this is why Statlander is going to be turning heel. He told Chris Statlander in the back during her promotion something like, this is your life, or don't waste your life, Kristen. Because that you could hear just what he wanted you to hear. And she looked shocked. And she's been teasing a heel turn, so maybe he feels held down by the best friends in Orange Cassidy. And like you both said, that's why I'm picking him. He's going to go out there and, beat Seidel's ass. I kind of hope we get some sort of callback to the greatest RKO ever when he hit the shooting star press and Randy like just caught him out of midair, because that is probably one of the most iconic RKOs besides the Seth Rollins one. Like I just want to see Evan Bourne's, aka Matt Seidel, just do something crazy, because that's what, like you both said, he's known for. But ultimately, it's gonna be Trent.
I need to borrow something.
Oh, gonna borrow the tinfoil hat.
All right, guys.
I like this.
So we know Sue hangs out with the crowd. Like Sue hangs out with everybody. What if Sue and Chris have been training, and Sue takes a Hurricane Rana or something from Chris?
She's like 70. I don't want her getting in that ring.
I'm just saying. It's a tinfoil.
I was thinking the opposite.
It's really dark.
I'd like to see Sue give it.
Poor Sue.
But I'd love to just see, Sue could easily like do
just
something
do the old
to Chris.
Stephanie McMahon bitch slap across the face, and I'll be happy.
That works too.
Listen, I would be happy with that too. We've already seen the cookie sheet. Maybe she hits her with the car. She was a stunt double. Chris used to be a stunt double. Maybe she hits her with the car. I don't know.
Oh
I want to see something.
Everyone just wants to see Sue murdered
with the van.
No,
I'm saying Chris gets hit with the car. Like, it could be like something really funny, and I think that that's something that would go really well with the best friends and a heel turn.
I know you listen to the Tortured Poets, but you're being really Tortured Soul right now. Like, holy shit. So I think we need to, before we talk about murdering his father.
Does anybody ever think about dying?
Anyone else? Before you want to talk about killing Trent's father, apparently, like he's probably next on your list. Let's ask Gary what his opinion is, so we can get out of the crime scene.
Yours, did you?
I did. I said Trent's going to beat his ass.
Yeah, he's a. Yep.
I mean, I can certainly tell you with confidence. I'm not predicting a murder scene.
I don't want a murder scene. She can take a bump. She was trained.
You know what's crazy is Sue would probably freaking do it too. You never know.
Why does everyone want to see Sue get hurt?
I'm not saying she would get hurt. I'm saying Chris trained to be a stunt double. Chris could probably do something with the car.
You said you want to see her get hit by a car.
Yeah, Sue driving.
Yes,
I thought you wanted Statler.
Yes,
you didn't listen
Chris.
long enough. You didn't listen.
Because I was traumatized by your Tortured Poet. Oh boy!
I will say one thing that I really, really, really like what they're doing here with Trent and Orange. The fact that they're just I'm just going to call it a random match for their matches, because they're not rushing Trent and Orange in a match right now, and I really, really like that because it's building the story. I think that match is going to actually happen at Double or Nothing. So. This one here, I mean, it has to be Trent. I mean, I'm surprised Rachel picked Evan Bourne, but
you know what?
Yeah.
She's picked calls before that were like, I don't know, and then they win.
Yeah,
and she's very humble. She won't tell you she told you so. She'll give you the look that says, I told you so.
The only way for that to happen, I think, is where Trent really, really becomes more brutal as a heel. Like, you know what? You cost me this. And he just goes more ape shit. But I'm very... I will say I'm actually kind of intrigued with this match. Obviously, it's meh, but it still should be very enjoyable because this heel turn with Trent's going to be really good. And Jeff and Rachel, if you want to know, in fact, what Trent was whispering in Chris's ear a couple weeks ago, it was, "You want a warm pretzel?" It was.
Are you sure it wasn't "Do the dance"?
Homie, I'm leading the way, DG on top. How about you keep it in line, lead them away. I don't fear my ops, better with me, I'm stay. Kick up my feet on the plane. Homie, I'm leading the way.
I did not see that coming. Which, by the way, was announced tonight. Daniel Garcia is getting his official figure this summer.
He is.
Nice.
I saw the figure of him and Soraya's figure concept I sent to Emily too. So I'm excited. I'm a little sad that Garcia's not on this card. I was kind of hoping the next match with Orange Cassidy. Yes, Jamal. Orange Cassidy, Shibata versus Shane Taylor and Moriarty. With Wake Me Up When You A Go-Go, aka Anthony Agogo on the sidelines. Definitely interesting because Shibata just came back from his visa issues and kind of reestablishing himself. Cassidy's in a feud with Trent, but now also Shane Taylor Promotions from this past week. Because Trent came out on Dynamite and basically left him to get his ass kicked by Anthony Agogo and Shane Taylor Promotions. So curious where this one's going to go because I don't think this is going to be a clean match. What do you guys think?
Well, I have Orange and Cabato winning.
Shibata.
Whatever.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, so, but I have them winning. I'm on like beer 3. So, anyways, I have
Maybe 4.
I have Orange winning because he's a really good wrestler. Like I don't think it's going to be clean. I think that there is going to be some, whether it be a table, a chair, like somebody knocking something off into the crowd or something like that. But I think it's going to be like that. I don't think it's going to be blood though. So I don't think that's coming until later. So, but yeah, I got Orange.
Okay. We actually agree again. So we're agreeing more than normal. So we'll get to the better matches. It'll start separating. But no, I think it's just some redemption for the BS they've dealt with from Shane Taylor Promotions. Even though it's kind of to me a little bit of an odd pairing since like Shibata's been with Hook, taking it from that angle, and then Orange has been taking it from the other direction. Just seems kind of odd, but I don't know. I think it'll be fun still. So I'm going Orange and Shibata, and yeah, a lot of shenanigans.
I like it. And Des also likes it when you agree.
Doesn't happen very often.
I love it. All right, Emily, are you going with your Mean Man Orange, or are you going with Shane Taylor Promotions?
I really hope Orange takes it, but I think Shane Taylor Promotions could, if there's interference, which I feel like Trent could potentially cause an interference here. So, like, I feel like every match there's a possibility of somebody interfering tonight, and this is the one tonight, I think. Yeah. Ruckus.
Mikey Ruckus, the producer?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
Outside interference.
So, definitely agree. I think there's going to be some shenanigans afoot. You know, that place with all the goofy shit on the wall that Farva loves. I think that it's just going to be start out normal, but you know Trent's going to get involved, especially with his feud with Orange. I don't know who's going to come to Orange's rescue because I don't know if Chuck is cleared. There's like different opinions whether he's cleared or not. But somebody's going to have to come to his aid besides just Shibata. And that's kind of why I played that clip earlier because I wonder if maybe Garcia is going to kind of come help because he at one point was tight with Shibata.
Right.
So I'm not really sure. I think Orange takes it, but by disqualification. I think it's more of he gets his ass beat by Trent. So I don't think it's a clean victory because I don't think you can have Shane Taylor Promotions lose twice in a row and really establish them as a dominant faction. But if, they get the win by a go-go beating down Orange and Trent and everyone else just pummeling him, like, hey, they didn't really lose. They just beat the hell out of Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, Shane Taylor Promotions really does nothing for me, unfortunately. So I rather see the Orange Pulp and the amazing Japanese translator, guy. I rather them win personally. I do agree with you for sure. There's going to be a little bit of shenanigans and maybe a showboat from Garcia, like you're predicting there, Josh. But yeah, easily OC for me.
I like it. And Matt says that Trent's going to cost OC and OC costs Trent. I could see that, but I don't see OC costing him because I feel like that's too much work, and I feel like he doesn't want to do that much work in one night. That's the only reason why I can't see it fitting for his character. But
But we all agree interference.
yeah, you have to.
Oh,
especially,
Most definitely.
There's 3 matches on the pre-show. You're going to want to get hyped for the pay-per-view. They always have a return, even from injury. Like Danhausen returned one pre-show. Like they always have some sort of, which is a good one too. And
We didn't even think about that.
But you could have someone like Danhausen. You could have someone's going to return because they're going to want to pop the crowd, get the crowd ready. Because when the pyro hits and the card starts, it's going to go 100 miles an hour until the finish. And Jeff and Rachel don't want to be tired after the first match. They want to have their adrenaline going all night.
Yes.
So, and I don't know what's going to open the card because so we're just going to Wikipedia order here. But the first match we have is Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe, a.k.a. the Muddy Kung Fu Chickens, I don't know what they're calling themselves these days, versus the House of Black, which a lot of people kind of poo-pooed on this match, but I like all 6 guys in this match, so to me, this is going to be a fun, entertaining match.
I do agree. But I do think Copeland and Kingston and who's the other one? Briscoe come out on top. I think it's time for Briscoe to shine because he hasn't really done a lot. Like he just got the other belt.
He's the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he just got that. So I think it's time
champion.
for him to have like another one, like to be.
It's not for a belt. It's just a trios match.
Oh, well.
I think are you saying that's because he just won a title, so it kind of cement his win?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it'd be good
That's
for him. But I do like Eddie Kingston. He's a good fighter as well. So, and then of course you got Adam Copeland. He can't lose. So, I mean, he's like one of the older ones. So,
He's a current champion too.
yeah.
All 3. We have the New Japan, we have Ring of Honor,
And
and
Eddie
AEW. So
Kingston.
we have 3 brands represented technically with champions in this one versus the.
And I don't think they're going to lose him. So,
Okay. Well, we're back to normal protocol now. So
give me the 10.
I'm going House of Black.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah, I'm kind of with her. Usually, title holders don't lose in matches like this, but I don't feel like this is a showcase per se for them. I think it's a good way to put over the house because they do have belts and they still have steam because they have title belts, and House of Black could use the dub. And I think it'll help because the trios are getting unified. So the house always wins.
Whose house?
That ain't yet. Of course not.
All right. So does the house always win, or does the Rated R Muddy Chickens, whatever their name is, winning?
I think House of Black is going to win, and I actually see Brody taking this one over Edge because of the match this past week. Sorry, Adam. So I see that happening. Also, no one's pointed this out, but I hope you guys brought some meat signs because definitely a big meat match. Mark Briscoe's the smallest one in there, and he's not small.
Yeah,
It's a pretty beefy match.
I can see Kingston and Brody having some chops going on and him getting a
Malachi
cannibal.
kicking, like it's gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Buddy Matthews and Eddie too.
I think I'm gonna have to. Sorry, Rachel. I think you're still lone wolf on this one.
Oh.
I want Adam Copeland to win. I want Kingston, but Jeff made a good point. I was kind of on the fence, but they do have 3 titles. House of Black needs to win more, especially with my prediction later. So I think the House of Black goes clean. And I agree. I think it is Brody who kind of shows off a little bit, but I think Malachi ultimately, I think he's going to pin Copeland because they keep teasing the Copeland Malachi feud, and everyone wants to see Malachi in a singles run. So what better way to set it up than him pinning him clean in the ring, and him standing tall over Adam, kind of setting him up for I'm your next challenger. That's my title, and now you got to watch your back.
Dude, you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, like literally, Rachel, you are really the lone wolf. I'm sorry. House of Black, I mean, they really, really need a win here. Like, they have been kind of on a downward trend, and I hate seeing that for the House of Black because they are perhaps your most popular trio. And by the way, I just thought of it there, Josh. It's actually the Rated R Chicken Hawks.
That's okay.
So I swear Copeland just thought of that on a whim.
Well, I could think of as Dustin Pedroia in the Muddy Chicken when he called himself the Muddy Chicken during his MVP year in 2007. So like, I don't know why I keep thinking Muddy Chicken, but I think that's why.
Makes sense.
I'm not sure if Malachi is injury free.
Yeah, I think he's been.
I thought he was. I thought so too.
I just really want to see a singles run with Malachi, like really, really bad. And yeah, I mean, even if Copeland does have a short title reign, if that's against Malachi, please. I mean, he would really, really be beneficial with a singles title, in my opinion.
Can we make it like a black and white spooky looking title too? Can you make it like demonic looking, like how they used to change the TNT titles? I think it'd be cool to have like it all blacked out, grayed out with like his spin on it. How cool would that title belt look?
I think it would have bones. I don't know if I don't know.
Hey, but you know what? When Julia defends the title, she does the house rules. Just think, can you imagine the TNT title with the house rules stipulation?
It would be nice
fun.
to see
We
them
have the
all
Cope
with gold.
open right now. We could have that. Like it makes that TV title kind of more WCW TV title, which is what I like. Like, yeah, there's a lot of titles. Both promotions have 15 titles right now. They're going to be down to 14 after this, but having that TNT title be that other mid card title with the introduction, make it the television one. Think about it, having Christian have it, having Edge have it. And yes, I know that's not his name anymore, but he's forever Edge, like Jamal said. And then going to someone like Malachi, like the lineage is great on that title, so it only makes sense to have, like you all said, Malachi potentially capture that. And Copeland doesn't need the title to put people over. He just needs good match selling. And I think either way, this would be a great match, but I think we're pretty much all in agreement, sorry, Rachel, that House of Black comes out on top. The next one, I know it's definitely got a lot of go-away heat in it. Hook versus the Vortex, Chris Jericho. Really strange that he's leaning into it and leaning into. I get what he's doing, but it's almost like this is a match that I don't really need to see on pay-per-view. Like maybe pay this off. I feel like Hook's already beaten Jericho. This is the one match where I'm like, I love Chris. We go on the cruise obviously every year, but it's okay to take a step back. It's okay, Chris. So, Rachel, what do you think? Do you think the learning tree, as Des calls him, the rarefied air, or do you think send Hook?
Well, I originally thought Hook. However, I have a feeling that Jericho is going to come out on top. There's going to be some interference. And I think he's going to be like, see, I told you could learn from me. Like being like the parent type, because Hook is a kid, and he's up in an older dude's face. So I have a feeling Jericho might come out on top. I think there's going to be interference, though. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. And then I think they're going to fight again because then that's 1-1. So I think they're trying to make that a bigger story. That's my thought.
Okay.
I like it.
Because I had a couple little things like that. Yes. Agreed. Well, I'm going with Hook, so we're keeping it real now. Opposite side. Yeah, Jericho obviously. Jericho obviously seems to be putting him over hard. It does seem kind of forced, but it doesn't hurt Jericho really to lose it. I could see Taz obviously because of the physicality Wednesday getting involved, but going with Rachel a little bit, I do think it would be really cool to see an outsider hold that FTW belt for a little bit. I know it's not, recognized and whatever, but her point of Jericho having that belt would kind of change things a little bit. So I think Hook's winning, but I do kind of like where that story maybe could go. So that could, and she might be right. Might set up that third one where he gets his belt back or whatever. And I wouldn't be disappointed with that actually. So I think it'd be better than what this could be paid off as. So
I agree. All right, Em, what do you think? Do you think send Hook, or do you think the learning tree prevails?
I had Hook, but I'm in the same boat. You guys really talked Jericho into this.
like I said, I'm hooking.
So
I still.
yeah, like okay, so I definitely think
What?
Hook because I think that Jericho's got his tour. He's got things to do. He's got a lot more than just this. I think he's looking like he's changing his appearance. So I feel like he's going away and then he's going to come back as a new persona, which is what he loves to do and we all love to see it. That's why we're fans of his. However, wild card theory, what if we just saw Taz get in the ring? What if for some reason he's like, no, fuck you, you couldn't keep my belt, I'm gonna take it back for myself, and Jericho takes that belt and then Taz comes in and Taz takes it.
Did you just steal Dez's thunder?
Well, I would say you and
I
Dez
wasn't
are
even
on.
looking yet.
That's
I'm
great.
sorry, Des.
No, that's great. You
I
and
was
Dez agree.
Like, what if
I was
Taz is
looking
like,
at it
no,
while
I
you
can
were
be better
saying.
than that.
I like saw it out of the corner of my eye, and then she's saying, "I'm like, is she stealing Dez's thunder?"
I didn't even see it yet.
No, it's funny.
It's
I'm
funny
not,
because I got my phone out and I saw that comment from Dez and you were saying it and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like,
right.
man, they're on the micro page there, man.
So
Same
are you
page.
saying? Are you switching your pick to Chris?
Jamal, I'm dead. No, I'm
That's what she wants, Jamal. She wants Sue to get run over by a car, hit by a
No,
sheep pan, and
you're
have
lying.
Raven drive a golf cart and almost take out all the power to the show, and have Sue win the FTW title.
I still think Hook is going to be the one to take it, but if there's like some weird shenanigan, we'll see this.
Wow. So Rachel did a damn good job because now everyone's picking Chris now, and Jeff picked Hook, and I guess I got to stick with Smokey here.
It's like we're a bunch of Jericho cruisers or
And-
something.
But I got to go.
Oh,
I want to
never been.
say I'm a Hook fan. I can't say I'm a hooker because I feel like that's a terrible name for his fandom. But I'm like, crap.
we
What do
have
you
an
call-
extra income?
Hey, you know what? Times are hard out there. Inflation is rough, all right? But no, I think Hook's gonna take it just because it is FTW, so there is gonna be shenanigans. I can see Jericho taking it, but Jericho's got this new. You said he's debuting a new persona, and I think he's already kind of started. He's being CM Punk. Have you noticed? He's basically being what CM Punk was perceived to be. He's being the ungrateful veteran that nobody wants to learn from him. How dare you not take my spice? I'm Chris fucking Jericho.
AJ, just
How
cover
dare
your ears.
you? How dare you not take the rarefied air that is Chris Jericho? Like he is turning that heel. You notice he got rid of Judas. He's coming out to Lionheart because what did he used to always say? There's nothing worse than when you're a heel and someone cheers you. That was Jericho's mantra. Like, if I'm a heel, I want you to say, fuck you. I don't want you to buy my merch. I don't want you to sing my music. I don't want you to like me. I'm a heel. So maybe he's going back to that true fuck you heel. And what better way to screw over Hook and take that FTW title, like everyone said. I do like the idea of Taz taking that back. Apparently Matt's also a hooker. Shout out, hey, I know expensive Vancouver, no judgment. I do like the idea of it all, but I'm not really sure if I want to see him with FTW 6. I don't know if I want to see the internet meltdown. See, Jamal, can't blame. See, I mean, Dez, can't blame a guy for hooking in this climate.
Uh-oh.
Yep. See,
I do like Hook. I really do. Like he's one of my faves, but I just don't see He is. I just don't see Jericho like not winning. Like I think they want to put Jericho like back on top again. Like I think they're wanting to give him maybe like another run.
We
So,
scared
but I think that
Gary away.
I think it's a good storyline. It's
That's right.
like
Wonder where
parent
to
and
go.
son. So
I think so too. And apparently Matt says no credit, cash only. You know what, Matt? Whatever works for you. I get it too.
You ain't gonna claim that.
I take credit cards. I got a Square reader.
And he's not talking about that.
But now, let's move on to a match that I know. As soon as I saw it announced, I knew Jeff was like, "Let's go." We have Roderick Strong versus Kyle
Yes.
O'Reilly.
Yeah.
I instantly thought of Jeff because I know what a big fan he is of Roddy. I know what a big fan he is of KOR. Seeing from back when he showed us his pictures when he met them back in the day. So I know he's excited to talk about this one. I'm excited to see this one because you basically have two best friends that know each other every move and that have come up through every company together about to duke, and it's going to be fantastic. Duke it out, not duke.
so is this for a belt?
It is
That's what I thought because Roderick has the belt.
the
So
AEW International Championship.
that's what I thought. So I originally had Kyle O'Reilly. However, I don't think it's time for Roderick to give up the belt. I think they're going to let him run with it for a little bit because he is a good wrestler. And I think that Kyle O'Reilly is going to end up, like, they're going to end up coming back together again like a tag team. That's what I think is going to happen somehow, some way. They're going to end up being friends again, and that's, how it's going to happen. But it's my thought.
I like it.
Yep. And Dez is not wrong on his comment there. Some true ROH stuff. Yeah, it's how I became fans of them. Okay, well, I'm Roderick. It was tough. I would love to see O'Reilly win this, but I'm kind of in the same boat on that. I think he needs to retain it. My reasonings is he's kind of right now the unofficial leader with Adam Cole, getting healthy and everything else. So I think this belt, they need that belt on Roddy to make him that intern leader to help keep that undisputed Kingdom faction running until Cole's back and ready. Um, yeah, I just think both guys come out of this match looking really good. I don't think there's going to be a clean finish in that way. There could be some continuation to this, or something along those lines. I mean, we do got the Kingdom that's going to be probably hovering around, and possibly Wardlow and these types of things. So, yeah, I'm going Roddy, but I do think O'Reilly's going to look good in this match, and yeah, he's going to probably take a few backbreakers.
Oh yes.
Because I know you love backbreaker.
That sounds like one
The
of those
Messiah of the backbreaker.
Jeff just totally pulled out like an 80s TV, like when they do like the intros of the cartoon. Backbreaker, every down tame, backbreaker.
Every time.
Well, she hates it because when Roddy wrestles, because I'm always the Messiah of the backbreaker, and she's like, God, I fucking hate it when you say it like that.
Well, it's like
And
whenever
it's
I see
like,
the Cranberries.
backbreaker.
No, please don't do it.
So Emily, real quick before she picks hers, loves the song Zombie by Cranberries because I used to sing it. It would be stuck in my head. And then when she passed away,
For
that's
days, you just hear zombie.
it's
zombie.
catchy as hell. And then we went to our first DPW show last year, Violence is Forever, the tag team.
He was so excited.
They
to
come
see this
out to
tag
Zombie.
team.
She literally was so excited, but she hung her head. She's like, just sing it. I know you want to sing your heart out. Just go ahead and sing it. So, Rachel, your backbreaker is my zombie. So, I completely.
Oh, and she hates the LA Night too because I do that one. She hates it. Yeah, yeah, backbreaker. Yeah.
All right.
Drives me insane.
So are we gonna get Roddy retaining, or are we gonna get O'Reilly as a new champ?
Auto parts.
As Cam would say, auto farts meow. So this became a sing-along, Mongo's favorite. We haven't seen Kyle in a long time. He's coming out in front of his hometown. I think that he takes this hometown good feel moment, wholesome, just a big uplifting moment. I think the card's going to need one of those in this night. Yeah, we'll see.
You see that.
I'm the odd man out tonight, so we'll see.
You think
Ooh.
O'Reilly?
Auto farts.
All right.
Meow.
Well, you were officially lone wolf on this one
I
because
know. It's crazy.
I don't see, like Jeff said, I don't see him losing the title yet. I see him getting displayed. I see Roddy having to cheat to win. I see Kyle coming very close. I see a lot of false finishes. I see chances where they're going to win. But I think Roddy cheats to win with the help of the Kingdom. And I think, too, Wardlow's going to come out, and I think he's going to refuse to help. I think this is going to plant more tensions for Wardlow leaving the group. I think that's going to cause a distraction. He's going to come out. I think you're going to have Roddy saying, come on, come on, come on. And Wardlow's just going to stand there and shake his head. And Kylo's going to do a roll up. They're going to be 1-2, false finish. And then there's just going to be shenanigans. And Kylo's going to lose. And Roddy's going to retain. So I think it will be kind of a clustery. But I think it's going to be fun. Because like you said, the Messiah of the backbreaker, hot take is going to kick his ass and keep that title. Yeah.
We're not going to be in the same room for that match. I'm telling you.
You guys are in the same arena.
We're going to be in the arena. You have to hear it.
She said like
You
me
have
when we were
to hear
going to
it.
Revolution. It
She's
didn't
good.
seem real.
She's going to be like, oh, suddenly I'm going to have to go to the merch booth.
Yes.
You'll hear me from there.
So
Hold
true.
on, Jamal. Des is talking about people with scraggly hair living in her. What's up?
Mm.
What's up, Des? What's up, Des? You got something wrong?
I was
people?
thinking the same thing.
No, but it's like when Sami Zayn had that like troll under a bridge look for a while on SmackDown. That's kind of what he reminds me of.
Listen, he's been busy training. He didn't get time for a haircut.
Maybe Des. Maybe he slept in his car on the way to the arena. Okay, like we don't know. Excuse me. I see his bindle. I don't know. I think Hobo Ted's probably missing his bindle. But I also agree real quick for your last match. The Bad Wolves version of Zombie is better than the Cranberries, but I still love the Cranberries. Before Emily murders me, let's go on to her match she wants to see, which is Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale with Stokely Hathaway. So you know Statlander will be there too. So does Mercedes Moné have any involvement? Do we think that this is going to be Ann Still and new? So Rachel, what do you think? Do you think the house always wins, or do you think Willow gets a title?
I originally had Julia. However, I think that maybe Willow might come out on top because she has like a whole different vibe than what Julia does. So I think it's Willow's time. She's fighting really good. So I think they might want to give her like a leg up because Julia's already in the House of Black. So she's already part of something, but Willow isn't. So I think Willow might take it. Actually, I like Willow. So that's my thought.
I know. See, she keeps changing her answers and screwing up the freaking mojo because I have Willow as well. I think all things come to an end. Julia Hart's had a great run, and she's really got to show her improvements and hard work on all of her skills. You know, just as a professional wrestler in general, she's definitely came a long way since those days of being the cheerleader valet. You know, for Varsity Blondes or whatever. I mean, that's she's doing a lot. But I agree. I think the win sets Willow up for the Willow possibly Mercedes match. And I think Mercedes gets involved in this match. You could have Brody and Sky involved as well. Or this could swerve a little different direction, and Sky could possibly have her wake up moment, so to speak, and
Oh, I like
kind
that.
of get past the mist. I don't know. That's my little hat thing, I guess. But
Ooh, I didn't think of that.
She's better as a
so,
nice person.
Willow's, she's I really thoroughly enjoy her work just because
Yeah,
of that type of stuff. She's that bubbly, different
that's Willow.
personality, but when it gets in the ring, all of a sudden that smile goes away and she's kicking some ass.
Yeah.
So,
And how long can Mercedes truly be a face? Because if you're calling yourself the CEO and you're saying this and that, that's not really a babyface move, in my opinion. You know, if you look at all the baby faces, they're not gonna come out there and be MJF. I'm better than you. You know it. I'm the best. Because eventually you're gonna be like, well, boo, fuck you. I don't care. Like, I'm glad you have money. Like, you
I'm
get
the
that
champ.
right. You get that. You get that like resentment. So definitely, I agree with both of you. And I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I'm gonna let you go. I promise. I think maybe before you make a decision, that has some more into is Monet
You go and then I'll go.
Statlander. Okay, we'll switch it up. So you have Statlander, who is turning heel soon, but I don't think it's going to be Dynasty. I think that's too soon. But I think she costs Willow. I think it's a more. I think Mercedes comes out. I think Mercedes is because she teased wanting to go after Willow. She's been teasing wanting to go after Willow, and I know that's probably the easiest matchup: Willow versus Mercedes at Double or Nothing. But do we really want to hot shot this title? Because I feel like the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you hot shot the title from Willow right to Mercedes. Because I kind of feel like the end goal is to have Mercedes have the TBS title for branding purposes. Like when she goes out and she goes to the NBA games, or she has the 3 letters on her shoulder. Like, hey, Warner Brother, look, it's Mercedes Moné, and she's got the TBS belt on her shoulder. I don't see her taking it off Willow because I don't think that's really fair to Willow. I know it's the whole run it back New Japan, and there's rumors obviously of Julia who might have gotten hurt recently. So maybe they have some shenanigans to protect her. Julia wins, Willow gets screwed over, gets protected, so then Julia can drop it, kind of like what Hayter did, drop it to the Tony Storm. How we can have her drop it to her. So that way it's not as detrimental because she got beaten by a big star, and then Willow doesn't have that hot potato of a title. That would be how I think it would be done the best. But then again, I could be wrong, and Willow could win clean and nothing happens. It's a great match and she wins clean because that's the great thing about AEW. You think it's going to go one way and it goes the other. It's a swerve, bro.
I think that the big moment for Willow, getting that purple confetti raining down, her big smile shining through, like I just see positivity out of this one. And I think that it's time. I think Willow's fought for this pretty much since Julia's had it. And then you've had Mercedes kind of in the same title run. So I wouldn't say that it's like a hot shot. I think that the 3 of them have been in this title picture this whole time. I could definitely see Mercedes coming out and celebrating with her and then like taking the title and being like, heh, it'll be mine soon. I don't know.
So I'm a lone wolf on this one. I like it. I finally got a lone wolf. Ooh.
Nice.
But I do like the idea of Sky coming out. I didn't even think about that part.
See, we're gonna have to make Jeff a tinfoil hat because he's got some good ones too. Because you never know. Like that's what's fantastic about. And I think it's funny that we may fantasy book and over predict this, but I think that's what's fun is because I personally haven't been let down by an AEW pay-per-view. I know people crapped on World's End and crapped on other shows, but there really hasn't been a pay-per-view I'm like, wow, I really wasted my money watching that, or wow, I really wasted my time watching that. Has there been some clunkers of matches or things that kind of underwhelmed? Yeah, but that's wrestling. There's plenty of times you're hyped up for a match and you're like, well, that was kind of stinky, but you still enjoy it. And
Jamal, you should listen to Willow's interviews. She literally is this happy, bubbly person.
Jamal, you're happy all that damn time. What are you talking about? Like no one's this. You were the wrong person to say no one's this damn happy all the time when you are that damn happy all the time, my man.
That is very true. He is very happy, yes.
But
I think she's a good positive too. Like,
he's sober, guys.
Look, I lost my earbud again.
Sober happiness is a way different.
I think she's a good positive for the fans. I know. Got it. So, and the fans really love her. So.
And Matt, I'll answer your question a little later because I have another tinfoil hat prediction later. I wish my video I made for the tinfoil hat loaded, but that's another story. So next up is a match that I didn't know I needed until they advertised it, which is Okada versus Pac. Just inject that into my veins. I'm not the biggest Pac fan of him personally, but as a wrestler, he's one of the best workers I've ever seen.
Every time he wrestles, I look at the ring and I go, what the fuck? Why can't he just be a good person too?
Like, be nice, damn it. You're so good. And then you have Okada, who's Okada, and his first official pay-per-view under the AEW banner. 2 people, essentially, you have 2 different countries here represented, 2 different styles, and honestly, a match that, again, didn't know we needed, but I'm excited for it. I don't know how to call this one, so I'm glad you guys are going first. I still got some thoughts on this one.
I have Okada, the Rainmaker, because I think since he just got to AEW, it is his time because they're wanting to promote him. He is a good wrestler, so I think he's going to win this. I don't like Pac. He's not nice.
Damn it, Rachel. Quit agreeing with me all the time now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going Rainmaker. I'm going with the kind of the same in some of those aspects. Just won the belt, and he's kind of being, I don't want to say introduced, but kind of to the AEW and American Pro Wrestling fans officially and everything. Most people obviously knew, but and then also Okada's traditionally not been a heel worker most of the time in Japan, except for, to my knowledge, earlier in his career. I
Yeah,
know
very
that
early.
Chaos was a heel faction that ended up turning face and has been face a long time. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to use him in that heel role and how he kind of develops his heel character or where that goes. I think both men come out of this match looking really good. Uh, and I don't think it'll be a clean finish. Again, I think we might have some bucks or some different things go down. But I do think that helps save face for Pac when he loses to keep this kind of momentum and steam they're trying to get for him.
I need
So,
my turn.
yeah, I'm going Okada as well.
All right. And Emily kind of told me who she was going for when they first advertised it, but I'm curious to hear her thoughts on why she's going for this person.
It ties into the next match. I just don't see him dropping that title. I think he's a prominent face in the story. Not a face, but a prominent person in the story. I think that his everything about him is still being showcased, still being learned. And there's more to see, more to do. Unfortunately, Pac does take a lot of time off to go back home. So I just definitely see this being an Okada thing and keeping it on TV and showcasing who he is and why he has that title. And just, he's good, you know? Like, hello, this is why I'm here.
Like
this is
it.
why
This
they
is
dropped all
why
the
I was
money on me.
one of the top guys in this other promotion for years, not just, a short amount of time, for years. So
Wasn't he the longest reigning IWGP champion too?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
I'm not sure, but also I do want to point out that's another reason why I believe that Monet is getting that title shot as well, because you need to recognize their history. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, rankings. They'll get to those. They worked hard their entire career. They will get to those rankings. They're earning that title shot. They have the title for a reason.
Well, I wouldn't even say so much as the rankings are being ignored, as more as outside work has always kind of counted towards the rankings. She could easily say, I'm invoking a rematch from New Japan. You have a partnership because as of, I think it was today, it was announced, Rocky Romero is not only a VP in AEW, he's a VP in New Japan now. So I've always speculated that Tony has a big stake in New Japan, that I think he bought in as like a silent partner, because Bushroad, they're not doing good. Like financially, that's why a lot of the free agents are leaving for AEW and WWE. That's why Stardom lost a lot of it, because the pandemic really hurt them. And Will Ospreay had a really good interview where he said, he wanted to stay, but he felt his time was done. Okada said he felt his time was done. I think that's just a nice way of saying he knows that they're not going to be able to get the money they want, which again, you deserve all the, what you get because you put into the business. But it's time for the young guys to shine, because, they're not going to be able to command those giant contracts right away, but they can rebuild and they can, it's almost like, a team with salary cap issues. They're trying to rebuild. They lost their top free agents, but it doesn't mean they're out. And I think it's great. And I think I'm going to agree with all you. I think that's why Okada wins, because you have Forbidden Door coming up in a few months. We don't know what his involvement's going to be. We don't know what any of their involvement's going to be. We already know that Stardom's going to be involved. There's rumors that CMLL is going to be involved in New Japan. So we don't know what's going to be involved. And having something like the international title maybe defended against someone from New Japan would be interesting. And I just don't see Pac being the guy to take it off Okada. Because whoever gets that rub, whoever gets that win, it's going to be a big, like, holy crap, they beat Okada.
Do we
Some
know
rocking
who
up your ass.
Okada was like really feuding with in New Japan that we could see at Forbidden Door?
Everyone.
Okay, so he was like the Osprey.
Well,
Because I feel like him and Osprey both. It's like I just
I don't
want to see
think they're
them
going to
versus
run that back
everybody.
yet. I don't think they're going to run that back yet, because they had a good. They settled that one, so I don't know.
But they're both in AEW now. I want to see Okada versus somebody in New Japan to showcase the New Japan talent too. That's what I like about Forbidden Door. I get to see people I don't know yet.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
If TK has a major flaw, it's that he books what he wants to see too quickly. For sure, the Edge and Christian was a little too quick, and then Monet and Below. But I think it makes sense for Monet to come back with this story because it was so prevalent.
No, and I think too, like what you're saying with Kyle, I don't think they're going to run that back because I think they're saving. I think they kind of have a. I think he maps out a bunch of feuds, and I think Osprey's mapped out. I think Okada's mapped. I think that if you notice, like the top probably like 6 or 7 people, almost seems like they have feuds at least mapped out, and injuries happen, but that's why I think like again this next match, the Young Bucks versus FTR. Yes, it's the 4th time they've met up. I think what is it 2-1 FTR favor, so it's a ladder match now to decide the vacant tag titles. You talked about Okada being involved. There's so much that could happen, but I think there's more to this story, and I'm sure Jeff or Rachel will hit on it. But before you go, Em, let's see. So, Rachel, do you think that Young Bucks are becoming 3-time champs, or do you think FTR are becoming 3-time champs?
I think the Young Bucks. I think it's going to keep going back and forth because I'm wearing the shirt. Woo, too sweet. So they always end up winning it. It always comes back to them. They're legendary. So, but I do think it's like, because like you said, they've already fought before. So I think they're going to fight and then it's going to come again. It's going to come around again for them to fight again. So that's my thought.
Well, dang it. She keeps picking stuff I want. So we're changing it up again. But yeah, I'm Bucks. Kind of like we already hit on part 4. I think the Bucks will even up this series so that they can keep this best tag team in the world storyline going on for a later date to maybe, I guess, finalize it now. I think it's going to be an exciting and entertaining match. I would say this could definitely be a possibility as being the match of the night. I see both sides coming out of this looking really good, no matter what the outcome is. But I am curious to see what is next for the loser of the match. Is he heel champion Bucks good for business? Sorry, Emily, I know your opinion on that. Or does it hinder division? You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's tough to go against FTR, but yeah, with the record and different things, I'm going Bucks because I just don't think they're gonna let it do that.
All right, so we got both of them going for the Bucks. I know who Emily begrudgingly is going for.
It just makes sense. I'd love to see FTR take them, but it just makes sense to have these assholes have the titles again.
Oh, it hurt her heart. I know it hurt your heart.
It breaks because I loved them as faces. Like, you don't even know, when I first was excited to find shirts at Hot Topic, that because I used to wear Mongos. Like, people don't know this unless you like knew me in 2018. Like, I used to wear Mongo shirts in 2018 and 19, and then AEW came out, and I could go to Hot Topic and buy my own. And I got a Cease and Desist Young Bucks shirt in a size that was small because I knew I was damned and determined to get into that. I still am. But still, I was like, I need that shirt. I need to have that. Like, we found so many different, like, pro wrestling t-shirts at Hot Topic back in, like, what, 2019?
Well, you did.
When
Yeah,
I
I had
finally
a
got
bunch of
my
my
own
Bullet Club
wardrobe.
ones. So she wore all my. What she's not telling you is I had all like the OG Bullet. I had like villain.
I wore Alpha Club.
She
didn't
wore
even
my
know.
Villain Club T-shirt for a good month. Then she wore my Green Arrow one, Vigilante Club, which
Didn't
has the
even
green
know.
ups. And she said something. She goes, "Kind of reminds me of Green Arrow." And I just chuckled. I was like, "Does it? Does that remind you of Green Arrow?" And then I showed her the match, and she was like,
Oh my God.
And I stretched all his shirts out so he can't even wear them right because the tits are all
I was just
stretched
gonna
out.
say now it's like the front. I have man boobies, but not those big enough man boobies to.
Yeah, I fully, like, I used to wear them literally all the time. Like, I lived in his shirts because I loved the look of them.
Now they're vintage and retro and expensive to rebuy, but that's okay. So again, I guess Mongo's lone wolf because I'm going FTR, and the reason I'm going to FTR is because there's some boys from Detroit coming in.
Yeah, that is true fact.
I think Motor City Machine Guns. I think they come in, and I think they cost the Bucks the match. I think the Bucks try it first. I think we have Scapegoat. I think Jack Perry tries to help the Bucks win, and I think
I want him to come back.
and it doesn't really work. But I think the Guns help out because I think they're setting up the Guns versus the Bucks for a feud, and I think FTR they might have some other people to deal with too. So I'm not sure. Again, I don't know who their feud is, but it could also be the other way. But I think it's Motor City Machine Guns costing the Bucks. And if not, it's definitely Jack Perry screwing FTR. It's going to be one of those. There's not going to be a clean, like I predict TLC 2, where you had Rhino pushing the ladder down kind of moment where you're just like, what? And they go up and get the belts.
I like it. I like it. You hit on my Motor City Machine Guns too.
Oh, I just want them to debut just for, not only for me, but I want you to be able to see that pop live, because when they came out for, what was it? Not, was it Forbidden Door? They came out. They did a like a 6-man match. I think it was Forbidden Door. They had a multi-man match, and they came out. And I'm like, holy shit, Motor City Machine Guns! Like they just randomly showed up in AEW one day, and I'm like, and now all the rumors and innuendo that they signed, and it's like,
Yeah, I've seen that. Well, actually, I've seen them two different places actually already. I got to see them for TNA, and then I got to see them in Ring of Honor, and I've got to actually see him wrestle solo a little bit too.
I was sad because we were supposed to see them in DPW, and I was getting ready to buy tickets for the show, and I realized that was one of the shows they went to Jersey on, not say North Carolina. I'm on the website. I have the tickets in my cart, and I was like, "Oh, weird. I don't know the name of that venue." And I'm looking like, "Oh, because that's Asbury Park, New Jersey. That's why I don't know
Oh,
that."
wow.
That would have sucked to spend $100-something on tickets I can't go to.
Yeah, no.
DPW goes to your area though. Oh, so worth
Highly
it.
recommend it. I know they were kind of in your area. They were in, I think they were in the Aurora area.
Ooh.
Okay.
So next up we have a match that at first I wasn't sure how they were going to do it, but I think it'll be fun, and I think it'll be timeless, because we have Timeless Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship. And again, there's a lot of story going into this, so a lot could happen. So Rachel, do you think the Timeless one retains, or do you think it's Thunder Rosa's time to shine again?
Well, I think it's going to be a good fight. But I do see Thunder Rosa coming out on top because she didn't originally lose the title. Um, so and Tony did great. Love her. She's timeless. She did a wonderful job. But I think Thunder Rosa is trying to make a comeback, it seems. So I feel that she's going to end up winning it. So
Yes, back to normal now. You know I'm chin up, tits out, and watch out for the
For the
shoe, baby.
shoe.
I think Tony's winning, unless they want to throw something in with Mariah May or some other type of interference. But I don't see her winning. I know that this storyline, like she said, is can go first full circle with the Tony interim champ and all those different things. But I don't think that she's ready yet and in that kind of top position status yet. She looks like she's getting better in the ring again and things like that, but I just don't think she has that same steam and push as she had when she became the champion the first time before her injury. So I think this match is going to help put her back on that map and being a top contender, but it's going to be hard to beat that push with Britt and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm sticking with Tony.
All right. All right, Em. So is it tits up, watch out for the shoe, or is it Thunder Rosa?
Tony. Tony. There's
Yeah.
again Mariah May. She just had that gear made. Like that's gonna be around for a little while. I don't see the downfall yet, but I do look forward to the downfall when it does happen, because Mariah May on her own is going to be amazing. I love everything about Mariah May coming into AEW. I can't say enough good about her. I'm excited to see what goes on from the Timeless Tony turnaround. Yeah, I think there's going to be some after-match shenanigans that I'm looking forward to.
So I think I know what your aftermath shenanigans are.
I didn't want to spoil it yet. Would you like to take over?
I think I will. And first of all, I like that Matt found a way to phonetically spell Tony 3 different times to go with your Tony. So I appreciate that. I think I'm going with the Timeless one as well, just because of what you both said. And I don't think they're ready to pay off the Mariah May storyline. Again, I'm a big film nerd. I love the movie All About Eve because I had to watch that. I highly recommend watching that movie. It's literally the storyline. I mean, it's not verbatim, but it's the seeds of the storyline. Like Star, who thinks she's still the top star. This young guppy is trying to betray her behind her back, take all her friends, take her fame, take her glory. A lot of good twists and turns, and I feel like with their mingling with Turner Classic Movies, they don't want to give up Timeless yet because they want to kind of keep that going. And I think it will, because I think Tony wins, and then I think she's celebrating, and I think the lights go out, and you just hear her yelling for Luther, and you have no idea what's going on. Then you see Luther laid out, and you see Jamie Hayter at the top of the ramp. So I think that's what's going to be set up next. Is I think Jamie Hayter returns to set up the feud, and I think also Britt's going to be coming back soon. Just not yet, but again, the Bucks were teasing those surprises.
I don't know. I think Britt's coming back. I'm ready.
They said that Hayter last
Pitch
year.
up. I'm ready for Britt.
They said last year that she was originally supposed to come back in January, February. There hasn't been a lot of news, and typically when there's not a lot of news either way in an injury, it means they've already been cleared and they're kind of just finding a storyline. So I really think that it's Hayter.
She got bit by a zombie backstage. She's just been hanging out.
I just see, because can you imagine Hayter going against Timeless Tony at Double or Nothing? You'd have probably arguably four of the best women wrestling. You'd have Mercedes, Hayter, Tony. Like instantly, already have a stack card for Double or Nothing. And then she could finally get her moment and All In. Like and then again, Britt could help, go against Mercedes. Maybe it's a triple threat. Maybe she gets inserted because she's like, what do you mean this is your division? This has been my division. So I think that there's now actually passion with the women's division. So there's going to be a lot more development than just Tony goes on a run for 4 years and nothing happens.
Can you guys imagine the Britt and Hayter tag team coming back through and challenging May and Tony?
I don't want Britt and
Hayter.
Hayter.
Hayter and Britt did so good together.
Nope. No.
I beg to differ.
Because to me it took everything away from Hayter's championship run by having her with Britt. It took everything away from Britt as a singles competitor. I think they were both put together because they were hurt. I don't think it was a matter of story. I don't want to see them as a tag team. I want to see them singles competitors because I think you could have Britt as a TBS champion eventually and Hayter as the women's champion eventually, and then they could run the division. I want to see that. Maybe they work together, just not as a tag team. I don't mind if they're friends. I just don't want to see them attack.
Listen, we're getting rid of titles. We can get women's tag titles.
I don't want women's tag titles. There's not enough women's tag titles
yet.
Yes.
Yet.
Eventually
Exactly.
would be good to
Eventually.
have women's
Maybe
tag
next
titles,
year.
yes.
Maybe All In is when they debut. But still.
Yet.
I don't want to see Hayter with Britt. I want Hayter on a solo run. She deserves a solo run, a good run.
That's why she comes back at All In.
I don't think she's going to wait till August. I can't see them waiting for August. But I will say this next match is the match that I cannot wait for, and it's this one.
Here stands the two of the best testing each other. The American Dragon Bryan Danielson and the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay. Brock undefeated.
That is my match that I cannot fucking wait for.
Yes.
That is the match that sold me on this pay-per-view the moment I heard it announced.
Oh yeah, agreed. I was super excited when I heard this as the first match. It's like, yep, we're going. I was going anyways, but
Yeah. I totally have the aerial assassin. Like, he is an amazing fighter. They just brought him in. He hasn't lost yet. I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think there's going to be some blood. Yeah, I do. There's
no,
going to
that's not what we're doing.
be.
Oh, I love it.
But I think that it's like the crowd just loves him. Like, he comes out and they're just everywhere. He has so much energy. Like, they're just going to keep going with him. So yeah, I go with him.
Damn,
Bruh.
you make me want to change my answer just because.
I'll change it.
Well, I'm not. I'm going Will as well. I mean, I know Brian. This is his final run, and who better to put over than the Bruv? It should be an outstanding match. Long time coming for pro wrestling fans. I'm not sure how the Danielson victory in this situation helps out in the long run for when you have Will, who's got some time left. But it could help cement his legacy as being the best wrestler and some other things. But yeah, I just think they can't do that. It's got to be Will, and match of the night and could be a match of the year contender. I'll just throw those out there. So, but yeah, I'm going with the bruv.
Yeah, 1,257%. So, all right. Are you going to go with the American Dragon or are you going to go with the Aerial Assassin?
Aerial Assassin, my bruv, Will Ospreay, love him.
Did you just say bruv?
Yes.
I did say
Yeah,
bruv.
bruv.
Did?
I did.
Brother.
I didn't even know that was coming at me.
Love it.
I think
Love
that
it.
this is like a passing of the torch. This match is for the greatest of all time. This is the GOAT. I very, very, very much think that it's going to be Will Ospreay.
I think we're all in a concurrence. It is the Billy Goat's time. I agree. Brian Danielson, whatever. Again, it's hard when there's multiple promotions names. They're always going to bleed out.
Yes.
I agree. I think he's going to get his big moment at Wrestle Dream when he retires full time in the Seattle area. But this is just, you both said it perfectly, all three of you. It's a time to cement Will's legacy. And I can't wait to see just the stat they're going to be able to put up that he's beat Okada, he's beat Omega, he's beat Danielson. Like, he's going to be able to say, I've beat Jericho. I've beat the best of the best. And it's I've never seen a bad Will Ospreay match, and I've really never seen a bad Daniel Bryan match. And that's one of the things we kind of talked about in our last episode. Is there's not a lot of bad Bryan Danielson matches, and there's really not a lot of bad Ospreay matches, and they both have that style where they can adapt to each other. So you're going to have Bryan, who's more the technical mat wrestler, and Ospreay, who's going to be high flying. So I definitely expect a lot of interesting counters, like when he countered Cesaro's swing. That was fucking awesome. Like,
Right. Even though it was a little bit, but it's still overall I thought looked good.
Like my abs hurt for him. I was like, that amount of core strength to sit up and be able to just do that fluidly and make it look, not steal AJ Styles word here, phenomenal. It just set a showcase, and like you said, he's been on this barn burner, and his energy. I mean, even when he comes out, just remember the name in the crowd. Everyone's chanting. I mean, you had Revolution, 16,000 people chanting his name. His first pay-per-view under the banner. You guys are gonna have 7,000 strong chanting his name. It's electric, and I think he feeds off that energy. Plus, you have Bryan Daniels' energy. It's just that whole match is gonna be spine tingling, and I don't use the word aura lightly, but there's gonna be a lot of aura in this match. There's gonna be a lot of holy shit.
Oh yeah, and this is going to be one of both those guys matches because it's going to be hard, to cheer for a certain side. Like I said, both phenomenal wrestlers, to use that word, but man,
This match is why I'm taking a nap.
oh
I work at 5:30 the next day, so.
shit.
And yes, Matt, you do need to go to Wrestle Dream just because. I mean, they haven't confirmed it, but you would assume Tacoma, Washington. Bryan Danielson said his last full-time years this year. What better way to go out and essentially not his hometown, but pretty much his backyard. And I agree with Jamal. This builds to Will's big moment at Wembley. Again, another big moment. Like, as soon as All In happened last year, my first thought was, if you ever want to see how you court a free agent in wrestling, that was it. Like, hey, you want to have a match with Chris Jericho in front of 80,000 plus people at Wembley fucking Stadium, bruv?
Yeah. Holy shit.
And now,
doesn't get much better.
I don't know, because now it's time for the main event, which Samoa Joe versus Swerve. Two phenomenal talents. Samoa Joe, legend of the business. Every company he's been in, he's been dominant. Besides WWE, he's held the championship in every company he's been in.
What a shame.
Versus Swerve.
Hey, he still had the NXT, at least.
He did. That is true. And you have Swerve, who, we've had Brian change opinions on him. Emily, took a little bit, but once he teamed with Keith Lee, she started to see his chemistry. He's really become the it guy, and I think it's finally his moment. I mean, I really wanted Swerve to win at Revolution because the crowd was just ready for it.
Even Nana got new merch this week.
But I feel like the crowd's going to even be more ready for it this main event. I think if now is the time, and I don't want to take anyone's thunder, I think this match is going to show Joe helping Swerve get to that next level and really, really put on a clinic on this pay-per-view.
You're up.
So sorry. Anyways, so my thought is Swerve all the way. He is a phenomenal wrestler, and then he took out all the security the other night. I think it's going to be a really bad, bloody match. It's going to be good, but and they're going to be worn out. But I think there's going to be a lot of bloodshed. But I think Swerve's going to come out on top. It's his turn. It's his time. Joe's had it long enough. So yeah, I think it's Swerve's turn.
I like it. I
Okay,
like it.
well, sticking with, I guess, the theme for tonight. So I'm swerving when I drive too. I thought it was going to happen earlier. They built it up more and got him to get to kind of this over babyface-ish status. Um, so I think that's good. So I think now's the time to pull the trigger with that. I think this definitely, like she said, is going to be a violent, hard-hitting banger of a match. The build-up, I think, has been pretty strong. You know, both sides back and forth and getting over on each other. And I feel like both men look, really strong in this match and at the end of it. But I'm going with Swerve. And I did want to throw it out there because, when you guys did that show with Brian, the brackets and all that, uh, for me, I watched Lucha Underground and met a lot, got introduced to a lot of characters, and he was Killshot on there.
That's
And I
right.
was a fan. I was a fan of his because that. And then later on, I think he did a few things and got the cruiserweight or something. I can't remember he did. Was with WWE briefly, and it took me a minute, and then I figured, oh, I'm like, holy shit, like that's Killshot. I'm like, dude, that dude's fucking awesome. Like, it kind of, I had to get used to him not having the mask on and different persona, and he got a little bit beefier, and was building up to be this heavyweight. So, but I just wanted to kind of add that because I remember that from listening to the show with Brian. So,
I like it. I like it. So, are you swerving when you drive, or are you gonna be like the traitor Matt Harding and cheer for Joe?
I swerve when I drive. Um, I agree with Rachel. There's going to be a lot of blood. And I think there's going to be
Just
a lot
kidding,
of
Matt.
false finishes. I think that this match is going to be the edge of our seats. Can they do it? Can they not? And Swerve's going to give everything he's got to take this, but he will take it.
No, and I can see Matt's point. Leave it on the biggest, most legit for a while.
They did that before.
I
It's
would
fine.
say that I would agree with that normally, but I kind of almost feel like because of MJF's injury, Joe kind of stepped in to help keep that title relevant. So I think it's more of not a favor, but he's that veteran that you can give the title, and whoever wins it, it'll help elevate it. So it's kind of like he's the best transitional, best in between
yep,
champion to kind of help keep that belt prestige. Because if you look at that belt, the lineage of it is already incredible. And I think AEW is going to crown their first African American champion, and it's Swerve's time. I think that he's insanely over. He can cut that tweener promo too. Like that's the thing. Some babyfaces can't blur those lines of heel and baby. You brought up Killshot. I completely forgot that was him just because you said the whole gimmick and the get up. And I look back even to NXT when he kind of started feeling those promos. You never really knew which side he was on. Even now his babyface run, he became babyface because he kind of had to. Hangman's still kind of lurking in the corner. You have MGF who has put the challenge out, which is where this is bringing me to. So yes, Swerve wins. He gets his moment, but then we're going to see Richard Holiday show up. And Richard Holiday says, when friends are in need, friends are indeed. And MJF's going to return. And now you're going to see Hammerstone. You're going to see all three of them. You're going to see Dynasty at the top of the ramp. And he's going to be ready for that title. Because, yeah, he has the unfinished business with the Undisputed Kingdom. But he's also got unfinished business with Swerve. Because remember, Swerve and MJF had that little segment backstage. So I think that's a way to get him back. I know people say Long Island because that's where he's from, Forbidden Door, but the show's
right.
called Dynasty. His stable in MLW was called Dynasty.
Yes, that's what I thought as soon as I heard the pay-per-view name before they had even announced or done anything. It was Dynasty, and talking to you guys, and it's like, oh man, I feel like that's who that might be, because of this pay-per-view name alone. But it'd be pretty cool to see.
They could always have him come in for this and then have the guys from the Dynasty kind of hang out and MJF re-debuts again in Staten Island. Maybe he comes back again in New York when they go there.
Well, I think that could be his first match back because that'll be that.
Yeah,
That's how
like, they
you.
don't have to have him
Oh yeah.
wrestle yet, you know?
No.
It's good. Like, look at the pandemic era when Britt Baker was injured and they still had her on television. Like,
Hmm.
it's still possible to be on TV while you're training to get back in. If you're going to be there anyway, you may as well be
And
on
that's
the show.
why there's the only reason why they took Adam Cole off TV is because his rehab. Because if you notice, he doesn't have his walking boot, so he's probably doing full rehab. And we all know trying to get medical appointments nowadays. You pretty much. It's funny. We all work pretty much. Let's just say 10 to 6 is like the average working schedule for most people. And then the doctor's office is like, we're open 9 to 5. Like, thank you for being
Right.
open the only hours I work. So I'm sure
Right.
with someone like Cole, he probably wants to stay with his regimen close to home. So I'm sure between traveling, and that's why. So I just think that what better way to kind of until he gets ready, because then he can pay off that story after. I'm not saying he's going to necessarily go off the title, but he's going to make his presence felt. Like, you may be champion, Swerve, but remember, I'm here too. And I think you want people to talk about your show, and they keep talking about all these returns. If you have even half of what we talked about tonight, it's gonna be fantastic. But I feel like Dynasty. I feel like it's gonna happen. I know Hammerstone is in TNA, but we don't know what kind of contract he has. Mikey Ruckus just made a new song for Holiday called "Rarefied Air," which I think is funny.
Yeah, I
So-
saw that too.
So and again, it's called Dynasty, and the colors of Dynasty look like MGS robe. Remember that purple and gold robe he had?
Hmm.
I thought it was strange because
Yeah.
when I think Seattle, I think red. I think Jeff's hat. I think the Cardinals. I don't think purple and gold when I think Seattle. I mean St. Louis. Excuse me. I don't know why.
St. Louis, yeah.
So I think St. Louis. I'm thinking red. I'm thinking
Yeah.
archways. I'm not thinking purple and gold royalty. That's more Kansas City if I'm thinking purple.
Yeah, or like the Royal, like
Vikings.
Royal Blue and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt's right too. They do have that. I mean, talents came back and forth quite a bit.
Thank you, Matt, because I got argued with today on social media about that. Thank you.
I know. Well,
I
will
mean, they
say
were crossing there for a while, so
I
it's kind of
commented
dulled
back
or
a
slowed
picture
down a
of
little bit.
Kenny Omega with all 3 titles.
Yeah.
He had the New Japan, the Impact, and the AEW title all at the same time.
His belt collector gimmick was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. That was the only time
No.
I enjoyed his heel.
So before I put you in the spot, do you have any cruise smoke for us today, or
Oh, let's see.
so if you
I
do,
do have a little bit.
all right. So let me hit this intro that I made since I know you've seen a preview, but so everyone, I think it's about that time.
And now time for Cruise Smoke with Smokey.
All right,
Love it. That's awesome.
And like Emily said,
That's
what a
awesome.
great weekend to debut it. So here's a little bit of cruise
That is
smoke with
correct.
Smokey.
All right. So, just kind of like to throw out some stuff from the cruise. So, was just looking at some of the Ragers we have. Got about 16 or 17 Ragers on this card. Obviously, Will's a one-timer, and hopefully a two-timer coming up for Sex on the Beach, hopefully.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. Swerve, two-timer. Pac, we got the one time when we had our Dynamite and everything. Didn't see him much, but, he was on there. Luther, I think, 3 times now for Luther, I think. We got Aubrey. She's a 4-timer. Posey's a 4-timer. I'm sure we'll see him working some matches. Paul Turner on the first one, even though, we didn't get to go to that one. Dasha. You got Willow, the Bucks twice. Eddie and Mark Briscoe each are once. Of course, the man himself, Jericho for the cruise. Agreed, Matt. Love me some Luther. We got the Acclaim one time, Daddy Ass, a 2-timer. The Guns 3 times, which they're awesome, but hate to say it, but we're probably not going to see the Guns on any more cruises after the last one. I think they might have finally got their too much cruise fame.
Yeah.
Then Trent Beretta made his appearance this last cruise. and then of course the OC has a 2-timer. So we're gonna see how that cruise rub goes, but I could see a few people that have had some alumni, Ranger talent, definitely getting some belts and definitely progressing in the industry. So
There is some sad news to that list.
Oh, Dasha.
Yeah, Dasha was actually released by AEW a few weeks ago.
did she end up? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was a
Well,
small batch of
shit.
releases, but I was really disappointed. I'm glad we finally got to meet her this past year.
No, I think
She was awesome on the cruise too. She was super nice. I looked like she really enjoyed herself, and really played to the cruise when she was out there in the ring and stuff like that, announcing and whatnot. So
and you
that's a
never know.
sad one.
They could always bring her back, or TNA's always an option. That's the great thing is, at least there's multiple companies now. It's not one company. Like if your job's cut, you're kind of as well. Like Matt Hardy could go to
Yeah.
TNA again. Could go back to WWE. Could re-sign with AEW. Like it's nice to see they have options and to go on the cruise job when Swerve wins. And sorry, Matt, Swerve is winning. I'm like 99.9% sure on that one. That's a cruise job because if you think about from Cruise 4 to Cruise 5, his transformation, it's incredible. Cruise 4, he was kind of like, yeah, hey guys, hey. To Cruise 5, hey, yeah. It's just, he completely owned himself. He bound himself. Was so over. I mean, I remember there was someone talking to Emily. I don't remember her name because Emily is like me. We're chatty Cathy's. We talk to everyone. And you were talking to this Rager who was like, I don't really know too much wrestling, but I like this guy. And she points to Swerve. You're like, oh, he's so much fun. And then Prince Nana's doing the dance, and Emily started dancing, Cam started dancing, and the girl you're talking to, she started dancing. Like, it was just kind of a nice moment. She was sitting at our table. I don't remember her name. She was like sitting at that little front section.
I
very
just
quiet.
associated with Rachel there. Rachel and Jeff, that was it.
But and no, Matt, not Matt, Hardy, not Harding, Matt. Hardy, as in the broken one, not the Vancouver one. But yeah, no, I'm super stoked for you guys that you guys get to go to this show because, I don't really see a bad match on the card. I mean, I'm not really thrilled with Jericho being on the pay-per-view just because I think, again, he needs some time to go away and kind of reinvent himself. But again, every time I think a match is going to be, yeah, it's usually pretty good. So I think it's going to be entertaining time either way. Hopefully you guys get there a little bit earlier than we do so merch isn't completely sold out. But
Oh yeah, we're gonna go with plenty of time. Yes.
We were not that behind. We just, it's hard to explain, like the Greensboro Arena. You walk in, the merch is right there, and then it just gets like
Oh,
clogged up, and it's not easy to wait in line when you want to get to your seat too. It's like, ooh, which one do I do? Because there's people everywhere. I'm tired of people. You
right.
waited in line long enough. I'm tired of people.
no, and I saw some of the merch that they're teasing. I'm not sure if you guys what you guys kind of collect to look at, but the shirts look freaking cool. And the posters, like all the different posters that came out with for this pay-per-view.
I have some of those. Those look awesome. The
I don't
posters.
know. I don't know who they've hired in this graphic design this lately, but I'm loving the new artwork. And they released the full pay-per-view schedule for the first time ever. Like, I don't know where these changes, but I like these changes. I love everything. Like it seems like, hey, this isn't working. Let's tweak it. Like it's not like drastic. Rip the Band-Aid off. Do 180. It's all right. That didn't really work for a few months. Let's try this. From the lighting to the camera angles to even the match
Yeah, the
layouts.
set.
Yep.
Yeah, and the set changing again, and yeah, because I've enjoyed that too. They kind of did that different vibe with the colors, the set, and like you said, the artwork and graphics and different promotional type things have been pretty awesome here recently. I agree.
And wait till you see those LED tunnels in person. Because I'm like, I don't really like them. When you see them in person, you see what the lights can do on them. You're like, okay, I understand why they did this with the pyro now.
Okay.
Like when Samoa Joe hits and it's like orange with the flame, you're like, oh, I get it because it's fire.
And Hook's
Right,
light
okay.
is so cool. We're
Oh,
like,
the
wait,
spotlight?
it's above us.
Yeah, it was above us. I'm like, Emily's like, look at the ring. I'm like, spotlight. She's like, where? I'm like, look above your head.
It was like
The
right
hook
above.
signal. The hook signal.
And that's another fun thing they're doing. They're incorporating some of these Warner Brother assets like Batman. And like, that's the cool thing. I don't think people realize it. I know I'm kind of nerding out here. But they own the rights to Scooby Doo. They own the rights to Animaniacs. They own the rights to Flint's. all these great vintage cartoons and theme songs, they have at their library. So whenever this deal gets finalized, I mean, look, they're already kind of doing the Batman thing with the hook signal. They've already some of the that promo video played earlier. If you notice, there's a little bit of Toonami. If anyone remembers Toonami,
A little bit, yeah.
they had an Animaniacs thing, and then Swerve had his own commercial that played during NBA. So like, I like all this cross mingling. And actually, I'll let you guys answer. But Jamal had a question for you. I don't want to answer for you guys, but Jamal had a question for you.
No, it is not. We went to Double or Nothing in Vegas. What was it? 23?
Shelly graduated 22.
So 22. 22, we went to Double or Nothing in
That was
Vegas.
amazing.
But that was our first one, so this will be our second.
I just love that you don't have to worry about flying out anywhere. You guys can just drive and go. It's such a good feeling.
Correct. Oh yeah, because it's I would say from her house here, it's probably hour and 20 minutes,
Yeah, I'm taking my
something like
son,
that.
so
And it's, we kind of just hook right in there in downtown and then kind of hook right back out. So it's really not too bad.
That's awesome. Oh, and we got someone
The
talking about
hooks.
the hook signal. The hook signal.
The AEW vigilante.
Just be a, you know what it can be? It can just be a bat. It can be a silhouette of him eating chips. It can just be a silhouette of him eating a chip. That would be the greatest thing ever. All right.
With some
Just his
crazy
messy
ass
hair
hair.
portrait.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. The silhouette.
Oh no, Jamal got COVID. Jamal, you're not supposed to
Oh,
bring
yeah,
it
that's
back
no
with
good.
you.
No. Supposed to leave it
I know.
there. It's Vegas.
I know. I figured Jamal's just like pay-per-view. I'll be there. Wembley. I'll be there. Vegas. I'll be there.
It was a cool experience to go do that somewhere else instead of being around here. Just to kind of have that different experience.
Absolutely.
Because right there where you watch it, you come out and you're right at the New York, right there when
Oh,
you
that's
come
right.
out. So yeah, I'm sorry, for Rampage, we were right there, but then we had to go different or vice versa. I can't remember now. It's been a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it was awesome just to go there, do different things, different people, different crowd, and of course you still run into ragers and everything else still. So that's still that small world, even though you're in Vegas. So that's
No.
correct, Jamal. It doesn't always.
Yeah, Jamal. I actually blew my Achilles tendon because only every time I went to Vegas, I was staying about 2, maybe 3 hotels down from the Stratosphere. So I was on
Okay.
top of the strip, and everybody's like, "Oh, you should go check out Chris Angel's show. It's down. What is it? The Luxor, or the pyramid looking one at the end of the strip.
Hmm.
Like it's
It
down there. I'm
is.
like, oh, okay, it can't be too far. And you know how no map is ever to friggin' scale. So I'm like, oh, it's like
I
right there.
do.
I'll just walk it. Did not know it was like 4 plus fucking miles.
Hmm.
So I walk down there. I go to the show. It was a standing room only show, so then I had to stand on my feet the entire time.
Oh shit.
Decided to start walking back. I got to New York, New York. This is why I remember that story. You said New York, New York. I got to New York, New York. I'm like, my feet really hurt. And someone's like, why don't you just take the monorail? I'm like, there's a fucking monorail? They're like, yeah, it's behind all the hotels. I'm like, so you're telling me I just walked this entire, like, why'd you walk it? So I ended up taking the monorail back, went back to my hotel. That was the night before I flew. I remember getting on the airplane, feeling a weird pressure in my leg. I thought, oh, it's just because I walked. My feet hurt. Yeah, no, I ruptured my Achilles because I don't know how I was able to.
Oh
It was
shit.
like one tiny little strand that I was hanging on because apparently did so much damage because I was wearing flip flops. I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't wearing good footwear, everything. And
Oh.
Like in Mexico?
that was different because I didn't hurt myself in Mexico.
But you still walked like 4 miles in sandals.
Yeah, but you know what I learned?
Not to wear sandals in Mexico?
Not to wear sandals when it's going to be more than a 10-minute walk. That's what I learned.
Oh.
I always bring a pair of tennis shoes.
I know. I started to now at least bring in the
Hey
the Hey
Dudes.
Dudes or the Chucks.
I do the hey dudes, like I said.
Matt, you would have someone play Killing in the Name of at a piano bar. I saw that video. You would have someone play Rage Against the Machine.
That's
Oh, man.
awesome.
You know who you should
That's
check out?
awesome.
Richard Cheese. If you like that stuff, Matt, check out Richard Cheese. He's a lounge singer. He did Down with the Sickness. Check it out.
Ooh, that could be
Yes,
interesting.
Jamal. Look, Jamal, it was like 7 years ago, so I was like 29, dumb. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to have fun in Vegas. Like,
Vegas.
course you have. But I think that definitely goes over our Dynasty predictions again. I can't wait for the show. Do you guys, Emily, or you guys have anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
I spoke my piece.
You spoke your piece.
Yeah, I was going to say we could have some interesting, I guess, the old tinfoil hat things. I mean, what names we thrown out so far? Jack Perry, Motor City Machine Guns, Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker. Yeah, thank you for putting that on. Richard Holiday, the rest of Dynasty, Hammerstone. You know what I mean? Like,
I might make a
I
hat.
really enjoy that we actually have storylines, that are incorporating these possibilities. Like you said, we over fantasy book, I'm sure, but that's kind of the fun about it, you know, is to kind of think of some of these different angles or hear, somebody else's view or, opinion, and maybe that shapes something different for me. Because I know you guys have said many things in the past where it's like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that, or oh yeah, that's a little different perspective. I didn't really think about that. So, but yeah, I'm super excited for this. I can't wait to fucking go. So I'll take some pictures and send them, of course, as always. So
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Thanks everyone who tuned in, for commenting and interacting. It was fun. I hope you guys have a blast. Look forward to hearing all about your adventures. Emily's going to want to see those pictures too, want to see your views, want to see everything. And I hope you guys have the best time, and I hope everyone has a great time watching. And I agree with Matt. I hope they deliver bell to bell. So thanks everyone for tuning in this Friday night. Until next time, I'm Mongo.
I'm Emily, and always keep the kayfabe.
Good night, everyone.